creepy shortcut you're taking, Freddy, gives me the chills.
Yeah, like me too.
That's because the heater's broken.
It was a dark and stormy night, even though for a scary story that's kind of overdone. Anyway, a group of friends, or should I say Fwiends, were on a ghost hunt. Why the hell were they hunting ghosts? It's all because the leader of the group, Vexdon, Devon, said something about conquering fears and it would be fun for us to all do it together. The group was made up of Vexdon, PixelatedYoshi, also known as PY, Fishstikz, myself, Fahyda, David, and Pikachu24 fan, Michael.
Fishy, why are you narrating?
Vexdon asked. It's because, you know, if I ever turn this into a story or something, I need to know how to start it off, I said.
Whatever, man.
Vexdon said, shaking his head.
It just sucks that we couldn't get everyone to come along, but life gets in the way, I guess.
Besides, the van didn't have much room. We barely fit in there.
PY said.
It's not a van, it's the mystery machine.
Fahyda protested.
The fuck? The mystery machine is a van! What are you even on about?
Pika pointed out.
Anyway, guys, let's just get into the mansion.
Vexdon interrupted, losing his patience. We stood in front of an old mansion, rather large in size, and rumored to be haunted. The perfect place to go hunting for ghosts. Of course, we were immediately stopped by the fact that the front door was locked. Anyone know how to pick a lock? 'Cause we're not getting in otherwise, I said.
Maybe the keys are on the doormat.
PY offered.
PY, that's the stupidest...
Vex cut himself off as he searched under the mat and found a key.
Smartest thing you said so far tonight!
With that out of the way, we made our way inside and turned on our flashlights. Everything was dusty as hell, but that's kinda what you expect when you enter an abandoned mansion. The entrance hall was spacious, with double doors on the first floor, and a singular hallway at the far left and right ends. 2 sets of stairs framed the area where the double doors were, leading to a second floor with a hallway on the left and another set of double doors. Huh. Well, if there are ghosts here, they're not the only thing that's dead, I said, examining a dead plant in a cracked vase. It seemed like it had been broken a few times and glued back together. The rest of us had spread out to check the doors. All of them seemed to be locked. How the heck are we supposed to find any ghosts in here if we can't open any of these doors? As if on cue, an eerie giggle answered us.
PY, now's not the time to be laughing like that!
Vex shouted, startled.
It wasn't me!
PY defended. Guys, I said, pointing above us. There was a floating humanoid-shaped glow, holding a key. When we all looked up at it, it threw the key at Pika, hitting him in the head as it escaped through the upper double doors.
What the fuck? What did I ever do to you, bitch?
Pika yelled angrily. Vex picked up the key and began moving upstairs.
Come on! We might be able to see it again if we're quick enough!
Wasn't once enough? Well, whatever. I'm along for the ride, I reluctantly commented. We all entered through the newly unlocked double doors, and were instantly blasted by a chill. The reason was soon apparent as ghosts started appearing around us. Try as we might, we weren't equipped to handle all of them, and we were forced to retreat. But we did snag a key before we were forced out, you know, for plot convenience.
Well, we almost died, and we have another key. Great.
Pika said, already done with the mansion's bullshit. If I had to guess, it probably goes to that door over there, I offered. The key did, in fact, fit the door at the end of the upper hallway. Once inside, we found something very interesting.
Is this a lab?
Yes.
Vex asked, examining things curiously. Seems like it. Hey, there's a map app here for the house. I downloaded the app since I was the one who found it. Besides that, it looks like there's a bunch of ghost-catching gadgets in here. Probably a good idea to take them with us. PY shook his head.
But stealing is wrong!
Pika shrugged.
And dying is even more wrong. I'm not dying here when I still have wins to get in Fall Guys. Yoink!
Fahyda was messing with some weird-looking machine. When it suddenly sparked to life, all of us turned to see what was going on, but when we did, he disappeared in a flash of light.
No! David! Why him? I loved him and these fucking ghosts just took him away from me!
Vex collapsed to the floor, pounding the hardwood floor in anger. I took a look at the machine. It didn't seem like it had killed him, but it wasn't working anymore. After giving it the once-over, I found a label on it. Prototype teleportation device. It can only work inside the house for now. So that means he's still alive, just somewhere else.
I hope he's not in danger or something.
PY said with concern. I decided not to point out that there were only 4 sets of ghost-catching gear in the room. One of us would have been left out originally, but with Fahyda gone, we no longer had to worry about that. I also decided not to point out that they looked like leaf blowers. In no time, we were ready to hunt down whatever was messing with us, and show it that we weren't ready to die. Before we left the lab, I downloaded an archive to my phone. It was a pretty big file, but it was full of information and exposition that we could read later. But scrolling through it, I found the logs of the scientist who owned the lab. He seemed to be pretty obsessed with ghosts, and that obsession was definitely driving him insane, as the later entry suggested, and they just stopped. With a look of confusion, PY examined the ghost-catching contraption he was equipped with.
So how do we catch ghosts anyway?
Looking at my phone, I found a manual. I can always check the manual. Just as I was doing that, Vex caught a ghost using his high-tech leaf blower.
It's just like Luigi's Mansion, guys! This is even better than I expected!
With that, we went from room to room, solving dumb puzzles, and finding keys to rooms we hadn't been in yet. But something was bothering me about the whole thing still. I took my phone back out to look through the data for something, and read an interesting little piece of information. Still reading, I decided to ask what had been on my mind. Guys, don't you think it's weird how we're fighting all these ghosts, but we're no closer to finding David or that ghost that no-scoped Pika with a key?
I mean, I'm gonna snipe that ghost right back, but what's your point, Fishy?
I heard Pika ask. I continued. The scientist that went mad in here created a ghost generator, and also turned himself into a ghost. I think that's kind of important. Where are we right now? We had wandered up to the attic, or rather, what was left of it. Most of the roof was gone, except the front mansion side. The night air was cool, and it seemed to have stopped raining. We barely had any time to think about what we were seeing, as a roar set us all on high alert. The winds picked up, swirling around the area. We shielded our eyes to avoid getting any dust in them. When we were able to look again, there was a ghost in a lab coat and goggles. Uh-oh, I said.
What do we have here? More test subjects? Would you like to become ghosts too?
The creepy scientist asked us.
Not really.
PY spoke up.
Well, too bad. Unfortunately for you, I'll be using the standard method, which is to say I'll just be social.
The ghost laughed maniacally, then launched an attack at our group. Vex took the defensive action of running back through the door and closing it, leaving us inside.
You got
The rest of us rolled out of the way to avoid the attack that ended up hitting the door. The flask exploded, leaving a sticky slime over the door. We wouldn't be getting out that way.
Don't kill me, little lab rats. Or better yet, keep running it. This is a good chance to run a different experiment.
After saying that, the ghost took out another 2 flasks and began mixing them. When he was finished, he tossed it on the ground, and the house began to rumble. The remains of the liquid emerged a ghost dog.
What? That's it? You're trying to kill us with cuteness? The fuck?
Pika asked, unimpressed. The ghost scientist laughed again, with more evil this time.
You'll soon see that the dog is more vicious than it seems at first.
Another rumbling, more violent this time. Before our very eyes, the dog grew to be 3 times its original size. Oh, and now the ghost scientist was riding on it. That's a huge bitch, I said. Here, I would tell you about how cool this fight was, but it really wasn't. The increased size didn't make the dog any smarter, so we just avoided it when it charged at us, and launched the explosive flasks back at the dog and scientist until they couldn't fight back anymore. Magically, that also removed the slime over the door, allowing Vex to come back in.
Guys, you're okay! I thought you were goners.
Pika stomped over to Vex, pointing at him.
Yeah, no thanks to you, asshole! You ran away the first chance you got! Fucking pussy!
No, Michael, you don't understand. I couldn't get back in. I was trying to avoid back.
Vex tried to explain. Pika was having none of it.
Yeah, okay, sure.
You know what? Fuck you, Michael.
Vex said.
Fuck you, Devon!
Pika shot back. While they argued, I heard the sound of floorboards cracking, and then he was sent tumbling through the floor. Several floors. Although we landed on a hard surface, we didn't break anything. Just hurt like hell. I got up and dusted myself off. Jeez, that was painful. I don't think that was the intended way of getting to the basement, but here we are. Ow. We gathered ourselves together, captured the two ghosts we defeated, and headed through the metal door ahead of us. We were met with an interesting sight.
Whoa, it's a mech!
Said PY with understandable surprise.
You're right. Now go touch it, PY.
Vex pushed PY toward the mech. PY turned back to us.
What? No, I didn't agree to this!
Too bad. Go touch it.
Vex ordered. No one had to touch it, as it started moving on its own. It spoke in a booming voice.
Who dares to enter the chamber of the final boss?
We all looked at each other, equal parts shaken and confused as to why anyone would specifically name themselves as a final boss, even if they were one. The mechanoid figure in front of us was losing its patience with our silence.
No matter, trespassers. I demand a duel with one of you to see if you are worthy to leave here alive. Choose your champion, or you shall all perish on the spot.
Pika stepped up.
We've been through this entire house and still haven't found the ghost that threw a key at me. I'm only gonna ask you this once. Was it you? Actually, don't answer that. I'm gonna beat the shit out of you anyway.
Pika was determined to get his revenge. He fought the mech by himself. Of course, with how fast he was moving, the mech couldn't actually shoot him with its rocket fists, which he used against the mech by sucking them up and launching them back. The final blow knocked the mech's stomach out of his face. The force also sent the ghost piloting it through the wall behind it. After such a win, Pika popped off.
Let's fucking go! That's what you get for throwing can me, you stupid bitch! Pog! Damn!
Quick, let's get it!
PY exclaimed. We exited the room to find a bedroom with lots of games in it. In fact, this was the kind of room you'd spend hours playing games in to review them, or to stream them, or something. The ghost we just saw was laid out on the floor. Now that we could see it better, it turned out that it was a girl. She looked at us with genuine fear in her eyes.
Well, wait! Don't suck me up, please!
The ghost girl pleaded. We won't, as long as you don't attack us, I said.
Who the heck are you, though?
Vex asked.
My name's Gwynn.
The ghost girl said.
Interesting name.
Vex commented.
Well, my mom's old-fashioned and named me Gwynn, but this name is so lame. So I shortened it. Of course that led to her assuming I was being rebel when I was alive, and then I ended up being grounded permanently.
Oh god, that's so fucked up.
PY exclaimed.
PY shush! But oh my god, that's so fucked up.
Vex reiterated.
It isn't so bad. I mean, the dying part, that super sucked. But Dad felt bad for me and snuck me some video games and stuff before she barred the door and windows to my room.
Oh yeah, that explains her fight earlier. You're a gamer!
PY announced cheerfully.
Right. Speaking of which, I'm so sorry if I scared you or injured you. I just wanted to have some fun. It's been a hell of a long time since I've seen anyone.
Gwynn apologized. It's fine. Your aim was kinda... I started to say.
It sucked! You were worse than a fucking stormtrooper. You should just stick to throwing.
Pika said bluntly.
Never mind that. We still never found David!
Vex noted, agitated. A look of recognition appeared on Gwynn's face.
David? Oh, that's right. Another person just sort of randomly showed up down here.
Really? Where is he?
PY asked.
As strange as it sounds, he ended up in my VR headset. He's really dedicated to playing Beat Saber.
Vex shook his head.
Of course he'd end up in a place like that. All's well that ends well, I guess.
Assuming I can reverse engineer the teleporter, that is, I said, shrugging. Gwynn was looking nervous.
Hey, can I ask for a teeny tiny little favor?
Depends on the favor.
Pika said.
What do you want?
I kinda don't want to stay here. Can I tag along with you all? You seem nice enough.
Gwynn said with a small smile. We looked at each other for a moment.
Do we? We literally just met after you tried to kill us.
Vex pointed out.
I'm willing to take my chances. I just don't want to be alone anymore. Oh, and you can take all of these games too.
It was clear that Gwynn would give up anything just to not be stuck down in this abandoned basement.
Deal! If we're getting free shit, we might as well take you with us.
Vex agreed, making the decision without us. PY looked at his ghost catcher.
What are we gonna do with the rest of these ghosts, though?
Let's just get out of here and figure it out when we get back, I suggested.
That's a terrible idea!
Vex protested. Yeah, I know, but I doubt we have any better ideas. Besides, look at how late it is. I'm exhausted. I showed my phone to the others, showing that it was 2 in the morning. The news made Vex freak out a little.
Shit! I forgot to call Hannah before we left! She's gonna be so mad at me!
Good job, loser. Well, let's finish this up. I gotta stream tonight because I feel like it.
And so, after we got everything packed up and headed home, that was the end of our little adventure. For now.